In Nugget 15 we saw how the ozone layer allowed life to move onto the land from out of the oceans. That's a big deal. Then, in Nugget 16 we saw that if the ozone layer were destroyed, photosynthesis would be shut down, killing virtually all surface plants and animals. Here in Climate Nugget 17 we'll quickly review an unprecedented threat which emerged in the 1970s. An enormous hole had formed in the ozone layer. Much more detail can be accessed in the sources, but here's how it unfolded. In the early 1980s, scientists began to realize that Earth's natural sunscreen was thinning worldwide and most dramatically over the South Pole. This came to be known as the ozone hole. By 1979 the thickness of the ozone layer had dropped below historical levels. By 1982 the loss of ozone was accelerating alarmingly. By 1985 the ozone layer over Antarctica had lost 40% of its pre-1980 level, all within just 5 years. The scientific community and soon the world was utterly alarmed. Fortunately, the worst ozone destruction so far was over the least inhabited continent on Earth, Antarctica. It was quickly determined that some man-made gases, particularly ones used in refrigerators and hairsprays and the like, were making their way up to the stratosphere, getting broken apart by the ultraviolet at the top of the stratosphere and sending chemicals like chlorine into the ozone layer. You have probably heard of such gases as chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs. Let's take a brief look at how ozone normally behaves. It's actually pretty straightforward. O3 ozone can block UV light from hitting the surface by being broken apart into O and O2. But these parts, after hitting and warming the surrounding air, quickly recombine, keeping a nice layer of ozone effective against the incoming ultraviolet light. This is the normal condition in the stratospheric ozone layer. But with CFCs a different thing happened. The incoming UV light readily kicked a chlorine atom loose. The chlorine atom can easily strip an O off of the O3 ozone and get it to combine with another O in the area, making our regular O2. Now we have just O2 and these are much harder to break apart to replace the O3 ozone. Remember, that's the reaction which built up the ozone layer in the first place, and it's a slow process. And that pesky chlorine atom is freed up to do it again. And again and again. The nugget for this part is this. The ozone layer built up slowly and has been protecting the surface of the planet for 500 million years. But humans almost destroyed it in a very few decades. The culprits were man-made chemicals such as CFCs. One chlorine atom can destroy 100,000 ozone molecules before it moves on. So that's the nugget, and it's an awful picture. Join us in Climate Nugget 18 to be inspired at how, this time, humanity got its act together and saved itself.